Prepare to attack the enemy's control points.
Get behind me, Doctor!
I am fully charged!
You are listening to Control Point, a Team Fortress 2 podcast with Brent Copeland, Eric Fullerton, Wes Wilson, and Spencer Williams.
Control Point, episode 40, recorded on July 13th, 2008. I'm Brent Copeland. Ha 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 ha.
I'm Wes Wilson, my love.
I am Eric Fullerton.
And I'm Spencer Williams.
The mastermind.
Yes. Armadillo. Ha 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 ha. I can't help it.
I guess that went over well. Huh?
Yes,
It was
Cool.
funny. My wife has been laughing about that all week long, Spencer.
And
She's easy to please.
and we were talking about Spencer's Secret Lab from the tail end of episode 39. And good stuff with all robot guests, or hosts, rather. By the way, welcome to Control Point,
Yeah.
where we talk about funny things that happened in previous episodes.
We're A.
Oh, that's right.
We're A Team Fortress.
We're a Team Fortress 2 podcast.
Right. Yes. That's exactly what's going on.
I'm so used to being
I see what
the
you're doing
only
there.
one.
No.
I'm so used to being the only one, though. I mean, it's like all of a sudden there's other podcasts, and they probably actually talk about TF2.
That's true.
I'm just saying, you know.
They do.
They probably. I don't know.
Other podcasts talk about TF2.
Speaking of, we stole the other team's intel, and it contains lots of documents about TF2.
Really?
Sweet.
We have it.
Did anybody get any points for shooting you in the back with a flamethrower while you were carrying the intelligence?
They did. Lots of crits occurred. Ready for this?
Yes, I am. I'm very, very ready.
Click, click. It has many hinges.
It's a trifold briefcase.
Yes, it is. More like an accordion. All right, inside of this
I'm glad
thing.
you've learned what a briefcase is, Robot Eric.
That's Brent's line. So this week, we have weekly status is in our briefcase.
I am. I need 4 lines at least.
We have yes, we have 4 items in the briefcase. Billy the Cone, Billy the Traffic Cone. He is in the briefcase this week. We have TF2 announcements have been made at E3 this week. And also, we have listener contributions.
Yes.
Wow, that's freaking packed.
Jammed packed.
Full of TF2 content.
Jam packed.
All right, I'm going to try to close this thing, but I just don't know if I can close it with so
Don't injure
much stuff
yourself.
here. So,
Is it like one of those puzzle boxes? Have you got to like push buttons and flip things to get it back together?
pretty much. Yeah, I need the hydraulics to close this thing. All right.
I can show you such wonderful things.
All right. So I'm going to go first on this weekly status because mine's the most pitiful. And
I'll vouch for you. It is.
yeah, I have a note card here full of other things that I've done that are not TF2 related. Things such as I installed Saga Online, which is an MMO RTS. Sounded like a great idea. I listened to a interview with the designer on another podcast, and I just
Wait,
it's just
You listen to other podcasts?
yes, I do.
Dun
Oh
dun
my
dun
God.
dun. I just love that their acronym is SO.
Is SO?
Saga
Yeah, true.
Online, so, yeah.
It's really no good. I don't like the game. I'm sure other people will dig it, but it seriously looked like something that was made around 1994, 95. It was really, really ragged. So I uninstalled it.
There's a glowing review from Eric there.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go out and play SO.
Yeah, very
It looked
detailed.
like a pre-3D acceleration game.
Oh, totally. Wow.
Wow.
It was.
So you didn't
rough.
need your physics card?
Oh no. So I spent all weekend playing 4-player Smash Brothers Brawl and Mario Kart with a bunch of people on the Wii. That was a lot of fun. Played a lot of WoW. Of course, E3 happened, so I watched all the conferences.
Really? You watched all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I do every year. I mean, it's great. It's like, it's like a movie, a 3-parter, that is.
Oh.
And I could talk about those for days, which I won't. I actually, in the news here, we're going to talk about what Valve had to say at E3. Well, that's about it, really.
Wow.
Lots of other games
that
going
was pretty
on.
weak.
But yeah.
That was pretty long for being pretty weak, so
Yeah.
I'll give you a thumbs up.
Yay.
Have you been playing any WoW?
Yeah, lots of WoW.
Yeah, if you were listening, he said that.
Too much WoW. In fact, I decided to log all of my gameplay, no matter what game I'm playing, on a separate Twitter account. I've created a new one. It's nailhead_gamer. Anyway.
So now everybody can take
really
your
good
play-by-play.
Yeah,
what you're
for
doing in
real.
games.
It doesn't matter what game
Actually-
I'm doing. It's play-by-play, so...
I really like
Don't
that
do it,
idea.
Spencer. Don't do it.
I'm gonna do that. It's
like
gonna
that?
be turnup_gamer.
Yeah, do that, because I don't want to spam up my... I don't know. I want people to know that you're going to get spammed with all kinds of crap that I'm doing in different games if you subscribe to that. Knowing that,
And
it's
then
up
you know
to
what we could do? We could have just like one website where like everyone who wants to participate in this, their gamer Twitter is updated on this one website.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it would be epic.
Isn't that cool?
Ooh, and then I'll make Wes Wilson _bowel movement.
Oh my God! I was just about to say that. I swear to God, that is so awesome that you beat me to it.
You guys rule.
You know what? I could get on board with that too because I poop all the time.
I was like, "There's no way he's about to say bowel movement." He said it.
That's awesome.
Were you going to use those exact words? Wow.
Awesome.
Not the lead up. I'm not as
We're
good at
friends.
that. No, we're not. we do have bowel movements together.
What else did you do, Eric? Anything, or are you done?
Yeah, I'm pretty much done. No TF2 content there, but you can
Can I
always
tell
follow
you something,
my
Eric?
gamer Twitter for all the other jam-packed things. What?
That was weak.
I totally was weak.
Weak sauce.
Who's not weak? Actually, let's save the best for last. Who has the best week?
Like McWeak sauce skillet.
It's not me.
It's not
Not
me
you?
either. It must be Wes.
Okay, good.
I only got one night of play in, so
I got
I
got two.
Two? Okay.
I got 2 nights in, yeah.
You want to go next?
No, they weren't long nights.
No, we're saving him for last then. right?
Yeah, yeah. You guys go ahead.
Okay.
I'll go then. Okay, you go.
No. Okay. Wait, are you going?
No, I
Okay.
beat you to saying you go first.
Let's see. I did play some TF2. First off, this is I'm back after a long absence. I was in Pennsylvania week before last, so I couldn't record while they were at the PlayOnCon thingy.
Yeah.
And then last week I had a bit of a family emergency, so I couldn't record. But even given that I have 3 weeks to talk about here, I think I played TF2 one night. I got invited on, and it was a CP After Dark night. And what was the map? It was Blade Runner. Have you guys played on that?
Blade Runner. No, I don't think so.
I haven't.
It's a very, very colorful.
Should we talk
map.
about that in the map discussion?
No. It was. I did not. It was very, very pretty map. And the entire game revolves around the fact that it's got a little like DJ room where you can go in and change the music.
It sounds like
And,
Cyberpunk.
Oh, that's what it is. Cyberpunk. I'm sorry.
Okay, awesome. I know exactly what you're talking about. now.
Okay, yeah, I played that.
Were you playing There's a Spy in the Discotheque?
I don't know. It
Was Friendly
terrible.
Fire on?
No,
Then no, you weren't.
I hated it.
See, if Friendly Fire had been on, you would have loved it.
But it has cool music, doesn't it? Didn't you dig the music?
Okay, there's this one song, like the robot song or whatever. I forget what it is. But someone, I'm not going to name names here, had no clip on, and he was playing a demo man, and he just had that room stickied, and if anyone changed the song, he'd blow them up and start the song back up. So I heard the beginning of that one stupid song like 90 times, and I couldn't take it anymore, and I quit.
You don't like Robot Rock?
Not anymore. So that was my TF2.
I'm with you, Spencer. I think it's a terrible map. I don't know why people like it.
it's also a terrible song. Let's see. What else did I do? I played a lot of the Warhammer Age of Reckoning beta, which I can't really talk about because of the NDA that covers it, but I did play it a lot. People might notice that I'm in there with my friend Kote on the Control Point vent server. I've made a room for it, so it was actually kind of funny because Azrael, he was playing TF2 and he joined in our room and he was listening to us, and after he was in there for a long time, he was in there for like half an hour. He said, man, I've been playing TF2 and I've been listening to them talk and I've been listening to you talk, and man, it sounds like you're having so much more fun than we are. So yeah, that was fun. I'm looking forward to having more stuff to do with that. That's about all I got. So I guess my week is even weaker than Eric's week.
Wow.
Well, did you cancel your Conan account yet?
Yeah. You know what happened with that?
Yeah.
I can tell you what happened with that.
I want to hear it.
Nothing will chase me away from a game faster than a bug. Than being unable to play because of some messed up bug. And I ran into that, and it just killed my enjoyment of the game so fast.
Which one of the mini was it?
It was. I went to the Trantia Noble District, and it just killed my game performance. And I had just lockups every 5 steps I took, and it was so frustrating that it killed my enjoyment of the game.
Yeah,
I agree. The Noble District was crippling at times. Now they've polished off a lot of that. They've cleaned it up a lot, and it's working better now. But
I have Warhammer.
I actually got to where I leveled through that section and was about to move on to the next stuff, but I haven't had time to play anything.
Yeah, I'm thinking about canceling my account. But anyway,
so mine's canceled. What about you, Wes?
It's the same. It's the same exact thing that happened to me with what was it? Hellgate London. The bugs just killed my enjoyment of the game entirely. So,
well, I'm sorry.
That's sad. I want to cry.
Well, I guess I'll segue into my week.
Make us happy.
Wednesday night I got an invite from Mint to go play a 7 versus 7. Actually, it was 6v6, and I guess some more people joined in, so it became a 7v7 real quick, and it was a lot of fun. And the one thing I got to say is I know I gave the F guys a hard time a while ago about only healing certain people.
Yeah,
and I think Ultra Blue might have been one of those guys.
Yeah, and
he was leading on one of the teams, and I was really impressed with his leading style. So I gotta go back and kind of I'm not gonna say apologize, but that I gotta give him more credit than I did then, and it has nothing to do with him being the WoW guild leader either. I'm not expecting any benefits there.
Did he send you money in the mail?
Yeah, tabard and 10 gold. I felt bad, and now I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. I almost sent it back, but I didn't want to be like, I don't want your money, because I play the market on WoW on both sides, so I have plenty of gold over there. But
yeah.
Anyway, I won't get into WoW.
We will on the next podcast.
The other thing that I had that was TF2 related was Jazz has created a mod for Beatles mod to listen to the podcast. So this is separate from the what was it, Source Tunes?
Oh yeah.
And Source Tunes, he hasn't been updating it, and I don't know if that's me not dinging him enough, asking him to, but it's kind of one of those things where I feel bad every week. Hey, new episode. Yeah. So this would be great if this works out, and so we'll try to get that on the server this week or next.
I wonder if Source Tunes has been tracking how many people actually listen to the episodes over.
I have no clue.
I think that they would know that there's a new episode every week by now. I mean,
well, and that's what I thought, because
been almost
originally he gave me. Well, I mean, he's did for a while, and all of a sudden there was like this lull of not putting any up, and I sent him an email that said, "Hey, we got new ones." Never, and I didn't notice them back up, so I don't know if we made him mad or something. But I mean, Source Tunes rock, so hopefully Hopefully not. So that was that. We renewed the Skype phone number.
Hey, yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, yeah, it was down.
So apparently we paid for a full year of Skype service, which apparently doesn't come with the Skype in like it used to.
Yeah.
And we had no clue about this until we sent out an announcement to send us some voice acting basically on the phone, and people are like, well, I would, but the phone hasn't been up in weeks and blah blah blah. And so we went and checked in, and sure enough it was off, and I went to the site, and anyway we got it renewed, and it's good for the next year. So
Same phone number?
Excellent. It was saved for 52 more days, so we would have been good for a little bit.
Yay, so call back in.
Yes, we need more call-ins. We're kind of light this week on call-ins, I think.
Yeah, notice the last couple episodes did not have call-ins, and that's why.
So it's back up anyway. And then Saturday, I think it was Friday or Saturday, I went through our house and like took every DS game and Xbox game that we just did not play, and I went and I traded them in, and I was kind of surprised at how much money they give you for trade-ins at games. I'm so used to like the CD days where they're like, we'll give you 50 cents for that, you know. And
they give you what, $5?
I traded in probably about I don't know, 4 DS games and 5 Xbox games, and I got $52.
That's not bad.
And some of the Xbox games are pretty crappy, so I think it was mostly for the DS games.
Because I recently hooked up my Xbox. I wish I'd known you were going to do that.
They weren't good games. You wouldn't have wanted them.
Okay.
I mean,
you should sell them on PlaySwitch.
I don't have time for that crap. I'm instant gratification. I need a store to be able to walk into some of those things. And my son wanted not the new, but he wanted one of the Lego Star Wars trilogy.
Oh,
he had one of them.
The Indiana Jones one. That's the one I want.
Well, we have it on the DS, and he plays it on there, but this is for the Xbox. I got him a wireless controller. That was cool. Anyway, and I had $5 left over, and this is just for the people who are thinking about getting the expansion for WoW or playing WoW. So anyway, go now to GameStop, and pre-order the non-collector's edition. And then when collector's edition goes up for pre-order, they'll call you, and you'll be the first ones they call to ask if you want to upgrade. Oh. If you're interested in the collector's edition.
Yes.
Anyway, so that was my week in a nutshell.
Okay. Fabulous. My week was I did play a little TF2, not too terribly much. I still have like 6 hours over the last 2 weeks, something like that. But I did get on they were doing a map test. And I'm going to go ahead and ruin the reconnaissance segment by talking about this. Mm-hmm. But they were working on the TC Atlantic map some more, and they were testing the blue base. Well, I didn't know what they were testing. So I just logged on, and it was blue base, you know? Yeah. And they're like, they're testing it out. And they're like, okay, everybody stop. Now let's talk about it. And I'm like, well, this is my opinion. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I think there's some excellent stuff here, but I think you've only got 2 fronts, and I think this particular map is going to get boring after a while. He goes, well, Wes, you kind of need to know that this is part of a territory control map and da-da-da-da. And so I said, oh, I'm sorry. Well, then I apologize. This is everything I've always wanted in a map. It's perfect. I don't want it to change at all. And I felt really stupid. So I thought that was kind of funny. I did play a little bit more with everybody while we were all goofing off, but I've started to notice a particular pattern that I have, and that is that if I start changing classes quickly, I'm going to log off soon. If I'm getting frustrated and I feel the need to change classes repeatedly to try to find a new class that can stop the situation I'm having problems with, right? Then I know my fuse is lit and it's going down.
Rage quit.
Uh-huh. Yes. So if you ever see me change classes, like every time I die, I change class like 4 times in a row. You might as well just go say, "Hey, good night, Wes. It was nice playing with you."
He's gonna freaking rage quit any second.
Not rage quit. More like apathy quit. Okay. I can't fix this. I'm not having any fun at this. And I love the game. I'm still having a great time with it. And of all the games that I've played in the last year, I've beaten this one in hours probably 40-fold, than to anything else that I've played.
Mm-hmm. And that's my problem is I play and then I look up and I'm like, freaking Jesus, it's 4:00 in the morning or something, and it's painful.
Yeah. Well, my whole thing is I usually don't start until about 11:30 at night. So I'll get done with all the crap I need to get done with during the daytime. And then around then I'll log on, and then you'll be ready to log off. And I'll be like, no, stay.
I nearly said some naughty words.
I've also I've been interested in some other things this week. I've been playing Psychonauts some more. I've got about 15 hours into it, and that game is just impressing me on more and more levels. I always knew it was cool and clever, but I never realized how far they took it and how immensely fantastic the levels were the deeper you got in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wait till you get to the very last level. You'll take that all back.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just
I thought you were about to give some
I loved
reviews.
the conspiracy level was fantastic.
The Milkman level is by far is one of the highest achievements of modern gaming.
God,
as far as I'm
yeah,
concerned.
that was my favorite.
It's so good.
The bullfighting level, the black lighting was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The and I just did the Napoleon Bonaparte level with the little with the board game.
Okay, I'm gonna have to call noob here real quick.
Yeah.
I've only heard y'all talk about this game. I've never even heard of it before.
I own it for the Xbox. I will lend you the game.
Is it?
He will not play it. It's single player only.
It's single player only. Your kids will love it. So you need to play it and have your kids watch.
It's an adventure
He
game.
plays Star Wars or Mario stuff.
Well, then he'll.
Really love
I
it.
mean, it's fun. It's
an adventure.
It's a PG-13
platform.
game. There's some cursing a little bit, but for the most part,
He hears me cuss plenty.
okay. No, it's fantastic. I recommend it above almost. I think it is swiftly becoming one of my favorite games I've ever played.
Does it have a TF2 level?
I'm gonna say yes, just so you'll play it.
Yay.
Need
Cool.
a dispenser here.
Very cool.
Need a dispenser here.
They need that game on
Need a
Steam.
dispenser
It
here.
is on Steam.
Oh, it is?
Psychonauts is on Steam.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yes, you can buy Psychonauts on Steam for your computer.
Are we talking $20 or $30?
That's probably $20.
$10.
Because I got burned on the
$10?
last 20
$10.
bucks. I might just get it on there.
10.
Well, I'll lend it to you on the Xbox if you want it. Anyway, I also picked up BioShock again. I actually figured out...
Is it better this time around?
No, I love BioShock.
Oh.
I've loved it from the moment I started playing it. I think I've developed this thing where I stop playing games that have a finite experience because I don't want to burn it up. And I want to be in the right frame of mind when I'm playing that particular game. So, I still haven't finished Super Mario Galaxy. I still haven't finished... Oblivion. I still haven't finished Psychonauts. I still haven't finished BioShock, and I think it's because I'm waiting for the perfect mood, and I just need to play the stupid game.
How long does it take you to read books?
It depends. I can usually end them pretty quick.
But I mean, do you save the endings? Like, man, I don't want to say that. I don't want to read that right now.
No, the games are different.
Kind of seems like what you're doing.
Games are different. So I decided that really what I need to do is I need to focus on a couple of games and just play them, and end them. And do them. So I went with BioShock, and I'm having a great time. It's a fantastic game, and I'm really enjoying it. And then I get to the Andrew Ryan Atlas confrontation, and I'm like, wow, this is the coolest thing ever. And then when I'm loading the next level, I crash to desktop, and I'm like, what? So that's
the best level ever.
I uninstall the game, I reinstall it, I still crash to desktop at that point. I go in.
It all goes downhill from there anyway. So
well, anyway, so I love that we've got Captain Pessimism on the line. It's all crap.
I mean, my opinion. I'm in the minority on my opinion of BioShock. I don't think it was nearly as good as people make it out to be.
I will second your opinion because it's single player. Right?
Honestly, I thought that.
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, it sucks.
I thought it was kind of crap, honestly.
Well,
all right.
Okay. Anyway,
we're not afraid to call a spade here on the podcast.
Yeah, for real.
I'm sorry.
I'm not afraid to call a diamond a spade. I'll call just about anything a spade.
I'll call a single player game any day.
Anywho, so
BioShock is crap.
Yeah.
Saga Online is ragged.
BioShock. I also purchased Rain Slick Precipice of Darkness, and I've been playing a little bit of that.
Is that the name of a game?
Yes.
Holy crap!
What is it again?
It's the Penny Arcade game.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
right,
great.
right.
The Rain
That's
Slick
right.
Precipice of Darkness.
What's the acronym?
RSPOD.
Oh, okay.
Well, you forgot Penny Arcade Adventures at the beginning.
Yes.
Penny Arcade Adventures Episode 1 on the Rain Slick Precipice of Darkness. It's the best title for a game ever.
So anyway, yeah, I've been playing a little bit of that, although it hasn't been completely entrancing me. And then the last thing is, and I don't really know why, I logged on last, I think it was Saturday night, and no, it was Monday night, and I was very excited. I'm like, okay, I'm sitting down at the computer at 9 o'clock, and I'm just going to play a game all night long. I'm going to look on my Steam list, and I'm going to see who's playing games, and I'm going to play a game with my friends. And everyone's playing WoW.
wow!
And they're like, we're making alliance characters on Agrimar. You should come and play with us.
I
And I'm-
hate you all.
And I'm like, what? Huh? And so I start looking around and like nothing's appealing to me really. So I'm like, I'll pop on. Brent's playing and I like playing games with Brent. So I'll get on with. And so then my wife made one the next night.
Yeah,
And so
I saw
now I'm
Alliance.
a freaking level 11 Draenei shaman.
Alliance are filled with smiles and rainbows.
And I'm like, why am I starting another character on WoW? This is the one game I was thinking about unsubscribing to until Lich King came out. So anyway, there's my week.
Yeah, we'll get more into that until.
Yes,
On the WoW
other
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was an awesome week. Not really, but
We haven't talked one lick about TF2 yet. All right.
we talked about 4 licks.
Okay.
And we got to the center of the Tootsie Pop, and now we're on to the loudspeaker.
What about Spencer?
Loud. I already went. Gee,
Oh,
you don't pay any attention to me.
Oh, yeah, you
don't
did.
love me anymore.
I'm just trying to stretch this status out for like hours.
I did. By the way, I did forget a couple things.
Me too.
I'm gonna talk about.
You mean go first?
No, I'm gonna go first. I did forget a couple things. First off, Zach Vedel got me a Diablo 2 key.
Yay.
And so I've been poking around a little bit on there. I'm like level 10 or something lame.
That's
so I was really excited about that. And then also last
you
week
and Eric.
I
What's up
forgot
with
to.
that?
I just asked if anybody had extra keys sitting around, and actually a lot of people do. So it was no big deal. Anyway, so Nivicaris was going to space camp, and that's here in Huntsville, Alabama. And so he had originally thought, hey, why don't I get you guys to take me from the airport to the space camp? We'll get some lunch or something and chat. And his father was wisely wary of that. Yeah. His father was wisely wary of that. His father is like, don't you think it's a little creepy that a 40-year-old guy wants to meet you and take you to lunch?
Wes Wilson. That really sounds like a pedophile's name.
It does. It does.
Are you gonna be playing with his feet?
No. Where did that come from? Pad.
Going to be playing with his feet
yes.
after he chops them off and plays with them like the little doll feet.
Oh my god.
So
anyway.
at least we're on to TF2 talk. That's good.
So he wisely decided that he was just going to take the bus from because the Space Camp bus picks you up at the airport.
Yeah.
But he's like, hey, why don't you guys show up at the airport while we're walking down to baggage handling, da da da. So of course I'm like, hey, sure, no problem, and then I called everybody to go.
You didn't call me.
Well, that's because you were in Florida.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and Eric couldn't make it. So I did go down and I met Nivicaris and I got one picture during the approximately 4-minute walk from...
Was it before or after you stabbed him to death?
After. Anyway, so, but anyway, I did get to meet him and I got a picture and, yeah. So, yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
So anyone feel free to go ahead and give Wes an email if you're coming into town. If you want to meet him, he will meet you and take a picture.
Hey, you invited people over to your house.
Oh, this is true. Yeah.
So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
That's it, right. We're the podcast that brings people into our lives. We like it.
Yeah.
And bedrooms. Moving on.
Okay, moving on. We are now in news and discussions. First off, Google released a 3D chat room web application. This is kind of their Second Life approach to things. And Jazz actually made a little CP house for everyone to log into. Now, did you get in there?
Yes, I did.
Were you the one who put the monitor with the Rickroll on it?
No, I wasn't.
So if you go into the CP room, you get Rickrolled the whole time.
Awesome.
It's a TF2 Rickroll, though.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
So if you make avatars in this, are they goos?
Goos?
Like me's and stuff?
Googies.
What?
Goos?
Goos.
What is a goo? What are you talking about?
Like a me or something. I figure if you make a little avatar for the Google
I know
chat
what a
room,
me
it'd be
is.
a
I don't
goo.
know what a goo is. Oh, because it's a Google. Oh, you're clever.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I'm good at getting my ideas out there.
So let's be realistic here. Does anyone think this is going to be a Second Life killer?
There's no such thing.
I think
I'm
everything,
so sick of hearing
I think everything
killers
is
in
killed.
games.
Second Life.
I don't know. Its numbers have been going up for
Huge.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Its numbers go
And
up.
people make a
See,
lot of
The
money.
only thing that's going to kill Second Life will be Second Life.
See, there's millions of subscribers
And that won't even
or
kill
whatever
it.
users of that game, but how many people really log into a 3D chat room?
I know a lot of people who do.
Really?
Yeah.
a lot, as in millions, or just a few?
No, but I mean, I don't know that many people who play Lord of the Rings online, and it's got a good subscription base.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole idea of a something killer is just a little lame. It's like, EverQuest. You think something should have killed it, right? It's still out there, and there's an EverQuest 2. So EverQuest 2 didn't even kill EverQuest 1.
Yeah.
So it's like every time I see it, I just want to rip out my eyeballs and throw them at little kids.
That is so amazing.
Why are we talking about this anyway?
Because there's a CP room.
Yeah.
We have a lively CP room, and you can
Moving
go
on.
to it. Okay.
So Wes, you read this interview of Valve at E3?
Yes, there was a Valve interview at E3, and it was covered on GameSite. And actually, it covered a lot of things. It talked a lot about Left 4 Dead, which was kind of interesting. I am excited about that. And, we'll talk about that on our Left 4 Dead podcast.
Side
Did I get you with that one? Anyway, but they did point out that a lot of people have pointed out that the interviewer or the interviewee said that the Demo Man class is probably one of the most overpowered classes in the game. And that they are looking into ways to, help
Nerf
mitigate that. Yeah. I'm a little baffled by that. I really don't. I mean, there are some very obvious problems with the Demo Man class with, direct damage and things like that. And
Right.
I find it very frustrating at times. The Demo Man is very good at what he does, but if anybody gets on close range on him, he's usually in big trouble.
Yeah.
Could it be that you suck with the demo man?
I was wondering when that was going to come in.
Ouch.
I'm just asking. I know you don't, but
Why are you so mean to me? All I'm
not trying to be mean. I'm just
doing a podcast. I read this article so you didn't have to.
I sort of feel like, you can be emo all you want, but I sort of feel like Valve, and I know I'm a big Valve defender and apologist, but they have more data than I do. They have more data than any of us do on the Demo Man and how he operates. So I really, unless they were to make that data public, I really have no choice other than to say they have the math on their side here.
Okay, you're right. Well, I don't know why I brought this up. We probably should not talk about anything that comes out of Valve Studios.
And on our side, we have Spencer is the Valve Defender.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about it. I'm just that's my opinion.
I know. I'm just playing with you.
Yeah. I guess I'm kind of on the other way. I've seen so many of these games go back and forth of like trying to adjust something. I think maybe there is something to what they're saying, but it's like how far they're going to take it, and I don't know. A lot of times they say something's broken, and I still disagree.
One thing that they pointed out,
but I'm a bitter soldier. So.
Just because we're used to it doesn't mean it can't. I mean, I agree with you, Brent. I've seen lots of games, fix themselves to death. I played the Star Wars MMO, for God's sakes. I've seen that happen, but generally speaking, I generally give Valve the whatchamacallit,
benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt. Thank you. And that is actually sort of waning in the aftermath of some of these class updates and such. I'm a little more wary of them than I was before, but they haven't broken my trust in that yet. So, well,
just from personal play, how does everybody feel? I mean, and to me, I don't seem to ever go, man, that Demo Man, he keeps killing me. It doesn't seem like he's too overpowered against soldiers, to me at least. But I guess honestly, demos and soldiers are fairly even keeled towards each other.
I do not feel like anything that they've done so far has changed the game on a broad level. Neither the medic upgrades or the demo man upgrades. They've changed the one-on-one dynamics a little bit, but they haven't changed the overall game. The same thing with the soldier debuff or whatever he got, and I kind of feel like whatever they end up doing to the demo man is going to be the same way. It might change the one-on-one dynamics, but not the overall game. Now, that didn't really answer your question, Brent. To answer your question, I also don't think that the servers that we play on are representative of how most of servers are played.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's a good point.
I can't say one way or the other. Oh my God, I killed the conversation. I'm so sorry.
You did. You killed the podcast.
No, Wes just had this look like he was going to say something, but then he had to pause.
I did. I think, I do understand why some people think that demos are overpowered. I do, because, a crit sticky, that's the end of you. If you come around a corner and there's a crit sticky there and you've got a good demo man who's paying attention, you're dead.
But wouldn't you say like 80% of the time crits are going to kill you?
Well, yes.
Like almost no matter who they come from.
But when you can strategically place a crit and sit it there and wait for someone to come by it, that seems a little... now, given that's waiting. And I think that's specifically one of the things they were talking about was that the stickies are considered a little overpowered.
Yeah. Well, I can understand the crits on the stickies just because you got a crit there.
Yes.
But I think that could be something simple than like tweaking the power of them. Why not just have, if it's a crit on a sticky, it only lasts a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Almost like an Uber or something. Where it goes down.
That's not a bad little idea.
Instead of just okay, stickies aren't going to have crits anymore. I don't think that's fair either.
Yeah. One of the other things they talked about was, they're working on, they're approaching engineers a little differently because, when the game first came out, a level 3 Sentry was a big deal, and now more experienced players look at it as more of an inconvenience than a real problem.
Yeah. That's something that we've touched on here, is that the Sentry has stayed the same while the players have advanced in skill, and so the Sentries are much less of an impediment than they were when the game first came out.
I find being an engineer very frustrating lately. I don't find a lot of reward from it, and I don't get many kills with my sentries. And then he was talking about how teleporters aren't as useful as they want them to be.
Right.
And I do think that the construction time on teleporters is throttling to the use of them. Since there's almost always a spy running around, behind the scenes, sapping all the teleporter entrances, I do think I kind of agree with that. And, for you to leave a battle to go to lay down another, teleporter entrance can be a real problem. And then once you do that, it takes, a good 45 seconds for it to power up. I don't know. I do think that teleporters are a little less useful than they
maybe like a level 2 or level 3 kind of teleporter, like with faster cooldown times, and maybe more hit points.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I don't think hit points will help. I mean, honestly,
No.
just because normally people kill them, no one's there to defend it anyway, so it's just
That's
like
true.
an extra
That's true.
rocket.
Yeah.
But
Faster
I think there
cooldowns
is,
would be nice.
faster cooldowns and something else that I don't know. I would almost even go for. I don't know if indestructible would work, but there's just if you don't guard your teleporter, it's going to get blown up usually unless you find a good spot for it. Maybe some way to conceal it better.
I'm looking forward to the heavy achievements and such because it's my primary class, but I think the class I'm looking most forward to is the engineer. I think that there's room for a lot of imagination in how the engineer works, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I agree with you.
I think, if I wanted to speculate and come up with ideas, there are other games to draw from. I think something like a translocator from UT would be interesting. There's lots of cool stuff you can do with the engineer that they have room for.
Disguise the teleporter.
As a
Sorry,
rock.
I don't mean to go back.
As a spy.
But do something to the teleporter where it doesn't
look
glow.
like a spy.
Unless someone's like teleporting in, maybe then you see it spin up real quick and the guy pop out, but then it stops.
Right.
So it doesn't draw your eye so much, and maybe you could throw a box over it.
Yeah.
Like Metal Gear Solid style.
Creeps around.
Oh man. Okay.
So, have we covered that?
You're the one who read the
Is there
article.
anything else to talk about?
I don't really. I looked over the article. I really did not. It was moderately informative. Everybody's like Demo Man Nerve.
That's not what they said.
No,
though.
it's not. They basically said they're addressing power issues, but then they talked about other classes' power issues and things like that. So, the last thing is there were 2 new Team Fortress blog posts. The first was kind of a follow-up to an earlier one that was talking about the heavy updates and more of their philosophy behind it. And the second was about the fake spy update thing.
Yeah.
Somebody talk about that.
Oh yeah,
Some good stuff there. So I guess someone made a fake spy update page.
yeah.
And
it looks so real.
yeah, it looked really good, except for the only probably problem with it was the images next to the achievements was really the only thing.
Well, that could be because it's unfinished.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's leaked, it's kind of believable, but they misspelled a word.
Oh, did
And
they?
that is a huge no-no. I mean, all you have to do is cut and paste your stuff into a Gmail email, and then it will correct your... that's how I...
We got to give them credit,
check.
though. I mean, even Valve said that there were Valve employees that were confused by it and thought that one of their internal documents had leaked somehow. So.
Yeah, the art was very well done, and the layout and everything. So, but anyway.
Yeah, I thought it looked really good. And that was by Conan, I guess this guy's name who made that. And so they made a blog post all about it, which I thought was pretty cool. Kind of pull the community in there. So, and I think they're going to put our link up under their TF2 link soon, too.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. Yay.
So if you're working on the website, you can go ahead and get on that. It's coming down any day now from management.
Well, the gist of the post was that they're taking contributions and doing stuff with them. I don't know what stuff, but I think you could make a reasonable argument that we have contributed.
Yes, I agree. They did link to a post that we have a link in.
Yes. Yes. We're vaguely we're vaguely tangential to Team Fortress.
Yeah.
I think we should add a quote to our page like theirs and say, absolutely the best podcast experience of the year. Would that be good?
Yes.
And do a fake the podcast update
Yes.
like it's the new unlock.
Yeah.
Yeah. It certainly wouldn't be based on this episode. Moving
New
on.
train unlocks. That would be funny. Okay.
Speaking of trains and wrecks, what is the next section here?
Well, we've got reconnaissance, but I don't think...
I've got something else for news and discussion here.
Oh, cool.
That Mystery Eagle sent us an email, and it's relevant to this. He's been talking about doing the Control Point Community book.
Yes.
What I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted us to mention a few things. He's looking for people who are willing to listen to old episodes to help with episode guides.
Okay.
So if you want to go through the absolute horror of listening to us, oh my god, it's terrible. Then go for that. I think he just wants people to make some notes about episodes and help him out with that. And he's also trying to get people to post memorable threads from the forums in the CP book thread on our forums, and that will help out as well. And he wants as many people on board as possible. So for two reasons: one, because many hands make light work, if you've heard that, and second, because it does make it more of a community project if more of the community is involved. So
I'd never heard that, but that makes sense.
You're wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, too bad I'm unable to have my own children.
Because you're worried Wes is coming over?
I am. And also, he said thanks to Risu, who is making the book page template. So.
Oh, cool. All right. Books coming along.
Very cool. So, on to Recon. We got, you were talking about trains and stuff. Has anybody played that new map with all the trains on it?
The train.
No, I want to.
I do too. So that was good recon. So on to listener contributions.
This just in. It's CP falling, you fall. Moving on.
There is a well in CP well.
It is raining characters. All right,
what the hell?
Oh, man.
We're just all giggly today.
I know.
And this whole episode doesn't make any sense.
Your face doesn't
We
make
appear
any
to
sense.
have gone off course.
Yeah.
Did I just break Brent?
No, I've been broken.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got some listener contributions. Okay,
Yay.
we've got an email from Ziggy.
The Ziggy.
Somebody read this. I've been talking.
I will, you man whore.
I will. I'm a suit, not a man whore.
What class do you think requires the most skill to be effective with? Which class do you think requires the least skill?
Okay.
And we'll start with Ziggy's answer.
Okay.
Personally, he thinks that the spy requires the most skill and the pyro requires the least. And we'll give out the email in a minute so y'all can send the hate his way. Of course, he is biased against pyros because he plays spy most of the time.
Okay. Well,
You know what I have to say about that? I used to think of it in those terms, that some classes required more skill and some classes required less, but I've sort of come around to a different way of thinking, that each class requires a different kind of skill. For example, the spy very clearly, not the spy, I'm sorry, the sniper requires very good point and shoot skills that are, say, the heavy requires far less in terms of that, but the heavy has to think more in terms of movement tactics than the sniper does. So I would say that each class requires a different skill set rather than one requiring more skills than another.
I completely disagree.
Go right ahead then.
Not really. I'm just kidding. I just felt like I just wanted to step in and.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
I see where Ziggy is saying that the pyro requires the least amount. That I can see because it's kind of a. I'm still going along the road of fundamental thinking. Pointing and clicking and dragging around the screen is easy. You're just spraying. I would have to say now, Spencer's going to hate me, but isn't it easier to spray fire with the heavy than it is with the pyro, because the pyro has to be close? So therefore you need to be more agile and dodgy?
It depends on what you're looking at in terms of the skill.
Well, why don't we look at it this way in terms of skilled players? There's like what class has more skilled players? What we considered skilled players?
Yeah.
It's like there's a whole bunch of good demo man, of course, because that's a really easy one to master. And then spy, there's not many because that's a hard one to master.
Well, I think then why don't let's go for learning curve.
Learning curve, that works well.
Okay, I think learning curve.
I think
is
that's
a much
what
better
this
way
is
to
looking for.
Yes,
The medic was the least played worldwide. So would that be the highest amount of skill?
I would say that if you're talking about learning curve, then the medic has a relatively low learning curve.
Yes.
to start out, but the learning curve gets steeper to become a more skilled medic. Once you, I mean, the basic medic skills are fairly easy to master, but to be a very, very skilled medic, it requires a lot of hard work and dedication.
I think you can be an okay medic, like right out of the box.
Yeah, but to be a great medic, I guess what I'm trying to say is, he said that he didn't think the pyro required a lot of skill. I would say that the learning curve for a pyro is fairly low. You have to learn your range. You have to learn good ambush spots. I mean, now if you're going to use the back burner, then you don't have to worry about this, but you have to worry about the what is it? I forget what it's called. The
air gun thing,
the flare gun thing. You have to learn about that, but really, those are all fairly low entry requirement skills. Whereas with a medic, knowing medic positioning, knowing when is a good time to Uber, knowing who is a good person to Uber, these are all skills that require a great deal of dedication to really master.
I'm going to
go ahead.
Agree with him on the spy. I would just consider that one of the hardest classes to master, just because it's like when you hear someone and they're a great spy, like everybody knows who they are.
Yeah.
For the most part, they go, oh, watch out for him. He's blah, 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 blah. But you don't hear that as much on a lot of classes. You still hear it, but at least, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going with
I agree. But, but Eric was talking about the heavy. I would say as a heavy player that you put me one-on-one against a novice heavy player, I will win every time because I know better when to spin up. I know ambush spots. I know all of that stuff.
Right.
And
it's all
I
about,
only know that from working on it.
I'm right. Going to go a scout for least.
In the sense of like shooting, but moving is different because you like you said, you have to spin up. You have to know when to walk and when to slow down and where to camp yourself, or where to stop. And I don't know,
jump spinning, stuff like that.
Yeah, and like it's very easy to run around as a scout, but it's very hard to aim. I don't know. Everybody has their plus and minuses as far as difficulty of skill required. So. I guess it's the fact that Valve has done a very good job, I think, of balancing all of the classes as far as skill levels.
To be honest, we wouldn't still be talking about this game if it was otherwise.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We would have played it for 2 weeks and then lost interest in it entirely.
We still have an astounding amount of stuff to talk about, even though it's not as much as people would like. Considering we've been doing this for 40 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Happy 40.
Crap.
Yeah, and this is a podcast about an FPS, for God's sakes. I mean, so, yeah.
So I'm going to go with medic for having the lowest learning curve. I'm going to go with spy for having the steepest. Mm-hmm. Brent, you're going scout?
I'm going scout, yeah. I think you can jump in as a scout and be just as annoying.
I think the learning curve for the NG is pretty high too, because right from the beginning, it's not very clear what all the devices do.
But that once you learn what your devices do and how to bring them up, I do think that the engineer has a reasonably shallow learning curve, and I think a lot of new players pick it up pretty quick because it can be sort of a little solo game. Yeah. It's can I get my stuff up where I want to, and then protect it.
Right. Yeah.
I'd still say you take a newbie engineer against even an experienced scout, and the experienced scout is going to whoop up. It's just, it's the nature of the game. Even the classes that we say have a low learning curve still have a very high skill ceiling, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do think that there's depth to every single character. I think that an experienced...
Except the sniper. He sucks.
No,
I'm kidding.
You're not.
Except I'm not.
I'm not kidding.
That was a good question, though. Thank you.
Yeah, interesting. All right. Well, we have another question from a Frit this week.
God, I'm so sick of these.
It is an MP3, and it does have a bit of cheesy music. Actually, you'll probably recognize this music if you are an old-timer like us. All right, here it is.
Hey Hey guys, Ifrit here. My question this week is, if you had to live in a map on TF2 for about 2 months, which Valve map and which custom map would you choose? Yeah, see ya.
Okay, so that was the question. And if we had to live in a TF2 map for, say, 2 months, which would it be? And this could be a Valve or a custom map. So, where would you like to live?
CP Falling.
CP Falling.
I mean, you've got water down there at the bottom, and if you're overboard, you just jump and you fly for a while.
Yeah, assuming
Sounds
it doesn't
like the
kill
perfect
you.
life to me.
I'd live in Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk is very good.
I might visit Hotel Hell, not horrible hotel or whatever everybody always says. But
Have you put that on the servers yet?
no, that's not my job.
I would probably live in Corporation because they have bathrooms, they have a kitchen, they have lots of places to crash
Yep, they have a
in
coffee
the
pot and
offices.
everything. Yep.
I mean, they it looks like they have everything. They have a nice outdoor area for exercise or whatever. They have a boat I could go chill in, call up some friends, have them over.
But do they have a
You know, on CP
discotheque?
Falling, you just pee off the edge and watch your urine fall forever.
Until you get transported back up and it's falling on your head.
One of the best views I probably would consider maybe Grand Canyon, because it's got like a nice view and it's got like some nice inside areas, and there's actually some difference. Like you can go to different areas and experience different environments.
Oh yeah, true. So that's a good idea.
I'd take some vacations. I mean, I'd go to Japan and a cruise. I would hit cruise because that would be a fun vacation.
You could probably get to your cruise on Convoy.
Yeah.
Convoy. True.
Yeah.
Can I say where I would not live?
Where?
To Fort. I'm so sick of it.
But it's got an outdoor pool for everyone.
Yeah.
Smelly sewers.
Yeah, that's really gross. I'm not buying it. Okay, so let's move on to surveillance. Who wants to cover this first bit?
Okay. On ubercharge.net, they have a new writer whose name is Spoon. He recently took a taxi and had a conversation with the driver about TF2 while he was listening to our show on his iPod. It was episode 36.
Awesome.
And it's hilarious. It's really funny, a conversation with him and the driver, who obviously did not play TF2, had no idea what he's talking about, and it's pretty good. And we'll have a link in the show notes, or just go to ubercharge.net and check out everything there is good. In fact, this next item is also something that was spotted on ubercharge.net. This is a level 3 Sentry made out of Legos. There's some photographs there.
Is it full sized?
Yeah,
or is it small?
It's full
that's awesome.
size. It's great.
Wow,
it's incredible.
That's an expensive Sentry.
Yeah. Well, he went to Bricklink, I think. Which is a place where you can, like a marketplace for Lego, so you can buy specially, like if you need all black or if you need a certain type, you can go there and buy. So, because obviously you probably could make a Sentry out of a regular set from, say, Toys R Us or something, but you'd have to buy hundreds of sets and, it'd be ridiculous. But
you can even sell Legos on Bricklink.
You can, yeah. Sponsored by Bricklink.com.
I actually saw. I think it was on Kotaku. I think a video of an actual Sentry gun that someone built. That was laptop controlled, motion sensing, fully automatic paintball Sentry.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh God, that is so awesome.
Yeah, that is excellent.
That sounds really cool. We need to steal that.
We do.
Also, there was a video. Do you want to talk about it, Spencer, on Kotaku?
Which one?
All right.
Spy tutorial video?
The spy. There were sort of some advanced spy techniques, and some of it was sort of actually, for being advanced, kind of seemed basic. Sneak up behind the other person and stab them in the back. I think pretty much everyone that's played a spy knows to try that. But there were two techniques that he showed in more detail. One which was a 180 turn followed by an immediate stab. It was just a very quick action that does a good job of taking out someone fairly quickly. And that was kind of interesting. But the really scary thing was the jump stab, and that was where he would watch someone and figure out when they were going to be directly below him, jump and stab. And it sounds kind of clunky, but it looked like he had gotten good at it to the point where he would just run upstairs, then jump up and over the person who's chasing them and stab them in the back. And I mean, really, awesome. It looked really, really seriously scary. And I hope I never play against this dude. But I will try and find a link to that video and put it up in our show notes. So.
All right.
Yeah.
And then you have the last piece on here, Spencer.
Well, I did do the little robot cast last week. And I did it because I've sort of had an idea for that banging around in my head for a couple of months, and it seemed like since I had missed an episode, it seemed like I might as well do that, sort of to somewhat explain why I wasn't there, quote unquote explain. But it turned out to take me 2 days of work to put together and do, so it took so much more effort than actually recording the stupid podcast.
Nice.
And that's why you should never miss one again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
but I did want to go ahead and there were 5 songs in the podcast, and most of them were covered by Creative Commons license, so I'm going to give them attribution now. The first song that played during the intro was Realize You Were in the Middle by Black Era. The song that played during the introduction of the robots was Metamorphosis by the Chupacabra. The song that played while they were discussing the briefcase was Minuet in D minor by Deo.
Nice.
And the song that played during the climactic battle at the end was Lil Rooster by one of my new favorite bands, Gringo Motel.
That was great music. I loved the music. It was excellent choices, by the way.
The last song that played during the the climactic death scene was from a video game. And I think I'm going to have a little contest about that. And I'll post the details of the contest in the forum as well. If you can send me an email to say what game the last track was from, then you will be entered to win a game on Steam that costs $10 or less.
Wow. That's pretty
Team
good.
Fortress 2.
And just to reiterate how you go and listen to this skit, this is at the tail end of episode 39. That's pretty good. Nice little prize.
I'll give you a hint. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Sweet.
Yeah, seriously. And also special thanks to Clyde Frog, who did the intro. Somewhere deep under the beaches of South Carolina, that was Clyde Frog. So thanks a lot, Clyde.
Oh,
Appreciate
good.
it.
Sweet.
okay.
Cool.
Well, now it's time to move on to shout-outs. And I think our player of the week, even though he's not really a player, I think it should go to Dustin, the owner of Billy.
We still...
I know, and I considered that to be a good introduction to what we were going to talk about.
Nice little segment.
Yeah.
So here's our ransom note for you, Dustin. If you want to see Billy alive, you need to give us a call at 256-513-4772. And we want to hear the story of Billy.
How did you meet?
Yes. Why is he your friend? And we want to know. We want to know so that we can put it on the podcast. So think it out.
And make sure you leave your mailing address to
Yes.
Get Billy returned to you.
Well, if nothing better, I can take it back to him at DragonCon.
Will you see him at DragonCon?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to video and do like a live thing.
Oh,
should we do it in
yes.
slow motion? Should we, do 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 like a running scene?
Oh, like Chariots of Fire? Was that what that was?
Well, yeah, I meant to do something a little more romantic than Chariots of Fire, but that's the one I chose.
Okay.
Well, man, I didn't know we were going to see him at DragonCon. I would have come up with something else.
Like the hills.
Like what?
Something live. Make him dress up like a TF2 character or something.
That's really mean.
Well, how? It's Billy we're talking about. I mean, it's not just a road cone we're talking about.
It's Billy!
Okay, so
yeah, I did
do that
wanna-
and get us drunk, and you'll get your comeback.
Yes.
Yeah, I did want to mention, too, that we are going to Dragon Con. Not all of us. I know that I am, and you are, too, Wes, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going with Sabrina. She'll be there. I will have a laptop there, and I will be streaming stuff. You will see this is DragonCon. Go to dragoncon.org. This happens in Atlanta, Georgia at the very end, the last couple days of August. And you can go and meet us. It will be a lot of fun. There's 35 to 40,000 people that attend. And I just plan on casting just, at random intervals. Just, hey, check out billions of people and cosplay and all this wacky stuff that happens at DragonCon. So
maybe we can get the table and have the
the panel would be excellent.
Yeah.
So anyway, so if you can go,
are you not going to go, Brent?
I don't know yet. I'm not really planning on it.
Okay.
So if you can go in person, that'd be great. If not, we'll throw out some Steam announcements and let people know that we are live in Atlanta, surrounded by nerds.
Dun dun.
How is that different from usual?
So I think that's enough for an outro.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
you know where to catch us, and we'll see you next week.
You're all sad sounding. All right. Well, that's the end.
hey, thanks
I
for
don't
joining
mean
us,
to be
Spencer.
Sad.
Hate you all.
Armadillo. Ha 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 ha.
You are now at the end of another episode of Control Point,
Victory.
Every one of you deserves a medal!
a podcast brought to you by the Dead Workers Party. See the show notes and leave comments for this episode at controlpoint.deadworkers.com or leave us a voicemail at area code 256-513-4772.
Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, Control Point. This is Nivek Urez, Nivek 2.0, House Call, Kevin, whatever you want to call me. You might know any names, West Stalker. I don't really care anyway. But I just wanted to give a tip on how to effectively use the Pyro's insta-kill taunt in battle, and I've done it successfully once. I did it specifically in order to get my 500th kill with the Pyro to get the firefighter. But that's not important. What you need to do is you need to get to a point where you see someone coming around the corner. I did it specifically. I did it on well. There's like a little gap right there. When you're up in the attic, there's like a little gap right there. I saw a soldier come around. He didn't see me. He came out and he turned left and was coming around the corner. Right? He didn't see me. I snuck up to the little doorway and I wound up and he came around the corner and bam. Hit him with the taunt. It was beautiful, and then he comes in chat laughing. So if you can time your enemies, it's not an easy thing to do. I tried to do it with another person, and then they killed me. But it's not something easy to do, but you can do it, and I did it effectively. So, and Wes, how come you didn't love me enough to mention me in episode 39 about us meeting in the airport? I thought we were friends. I have your phone number. I can hassle you with it. Bye.
Hey guys, it's the one and only Agent Moeller. Yay. Just want to say I loved your Play On Con video cast extravaganza. It was a lot of fun. Loved live action Risk, especially when Victor got hit in the face. That was fun. Hope your server issues that you guys have been having get fixed. And that's about it. Hope to play with you soon. See ya.
Hey, so I have a great tip for engineers. Okay, so you put 2 teleporters. If you think there's going to be some death, place a teleporter somewhere, like outside the resupply room and one in the exit inside. Then put at least 2 or 3, maybe 4 level 2 or above sentry turrets outside. If a spy comes and zaps them, he'll become uncloaked and the other turrets will shoot them. All you gotta do is hang out inside of the resupply room, and if anyone comes inside, just shoot him with a shotgun. And also, how can I persuade my parents, because I'm underage, to allow me to play Team Fortress 2 on the computer? Alright, so that's my tip and a question, and I guess I love your podcast. I just love them. My name for Xbox Live, if anyone wants to know, is ObiBud. It's O-B-I. It's capital O-B-I. No space. Capital B-U-D-D. And maybe you could tell Mojachi that, he's awesome. All right, see ya. Bye.
Hi, guys. My name is Tim, and I'm a new player for Team Fortress. Well, I'm kind of a veteran, but I play on the Xbox version of Team Fortress 2, so we don't really get the updates that often. My tip is on Stage 1 of Dust Bowl around Capture Point 2. I think all classes can do this. On the one-way grate that leads to the second capture point, there are some bolts on the side, and you can have the characters jump across there and use those bolts as kind of like stepping ladders to get to the other side. And if there's also a little ledge by the barrels that you can use for cover, their snipers usually hang out. If you can crouch jump over there and then jump and then crouch over the barrels, you'll be okay. Also, if you can find out and confirm if the Xbox 360 will be getting the updates, that would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Take care.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, it's not that funny, Wes.
You laugh at everything.
Nice.
Stop it, Brent.